We are having a special lecture of spinal tracts, which is a combination of anatomy and physiology. We'll revise some anatomy also, and at the same time we'll be discussing the functions of all these tracts. Now, as we enter into the field of tractology, we have a picture of central nervous system, and we see that we need to define some terms before we further proceed. So we'll begin our discussion with few terms, and then we'll quickly move one by one. Let us see what terms do we have. These are the objectives. First of all, we'll talk about the tracts of the central nervous system. Specifically, we'll talk about spinal cord, and we'll see what are the systems that exist in the spinal cord and how do they carry sensations, and we'll compare those systems structurally and functionally as much as possible. Look at the terms, please. Wa alaikum assalam. The first term is tract. All right, let us begin our discussion. The word is tract. Yes. Anyone who can respond? The meaning of a tract. Yeah.
Pathway.
Tract is a pathway.
Yeah.
It's a part of the pathway, yes, functionally it is. But in terms of definition, anatomically and physiologically, how will you define tract?
Their fibers having the same course function.
Okay. Fibers having the same course and same function. Okay. Number one thing, fibers. All right. I take this part very well. What is the second part? Same course. Same course means what? What do you mean by the same course? Same way. Okay. So fibers are traveling in the same way and they form the tract. All right. Same function. What do you mean by that?
Maybe it's necessary.
Okay. Because what I get from your definition is, when you say functions, it means that a tract will carry, the one tract will carry one function like this. So do you think it is necessary that a single tract in spinal cord should carry one function only? Or is it possible that a tract can carry more than one function? Yes or no? Possibility. All right? And yes, it happens. One tract can carry more than one function. So generally speaking, yes, you are right. We are close to the definition. Where is this bundle present? Where is this bundle of nerve fibers present? Spinal cord. Can you extend your definition? Yes, that's a very nice word. Okay, CNS. Because some part of it is present in the spinal cord, a part of it is going into the brain also. So use the term which covers both. So it's central nervous system. Fine. So a bundle of fibers carrying what? Yes. Okay. Carrying impulses. Okay. Carrying impulses. That is a very, very important word. I did not use the word carrying sensations. Why did I not use the word carrying sensations? It could be motor. That's why I wanted to be safe. That's why I use the word impulses. Impulses can be sensory impulses, or impulses can be motor impulses. If the tracts are coming down, they are bringing the motor impulses, as you all know. If the tracts are ascending, so why not use a word which is safe and covers both? So please, tract is a bundle of nerve fibers carrying impulses, sensations or the motor impulses, and it travels in the CNS. Okay? If it is traveling from below upwards, then it should be sensory tract. If it is coming from above downwards, then it is the motor tract. Very simple. Okay? Now, extending our views about the tracts, can a tract, ascending tract, now you know the meaning of ascending tract, can an ascending tract be present only in the spinal cord? Is it possible or not possible? Can an ascending tract be only in the spinal cord? Yani, it is beginning in the spinal cord and it is ending in the spinal cord. Possible or no? Not possible. Seemingly not possible. But if a bundle of nerve fiber, or if bundle of nerve fibers are traveling from the sacral segments to the thoracic segments and they end up there, will you call them ascending tracts? Yes or no? Yes. So they are starting from the sacral segments and they are ending in the thoracic segments, starting from the spinal cord and ending in the spinal cord. So are these ascending tracts? Yes or no? So it means ascending tracts can start from spinal cord and they can end in. Okay. Other example, a tract or a short bundle is starting from lumbar segment from L5 and it is finishing in L4 or L3. It finishes. Few fibers, few segments only, and it finishes. The direction is like this, going up. Can you call it ascending tract? Yes, it's a short ascending tract. Why not? Okay. Can this situation happen in the spinal cord also? In the brain also spinal cord was done. Brain. Is it possible that it may start from one level of the brain and it may go up to another level of the brain? Is it possible or not possible? We are talking about the possibilities, Shabab. Okay, I'm not saying which is the most common one in our definition. I'm saying, is it mumkin? Yes or no? Yes. Why not? Why not? Why not? Anything technically which is moving up in the spinal cord from one segment to another segment, from few segments to above few segments, from spinal cord to the brain, or from lower area of the brain to the higher area of the brain, anything can be a, yes, okay, sensory pathway or an ascending tract. Why not? Now you reverse this definition. What are we doing now? Descending tract. Same definition. From brain to spinal cord, yes, the commonest. From brain to brain, higher area of the brain to the lower area of the brain, few levels, why not? From some levels of the spinal cord to the lower levels of the spinal cord, yes. Now you have broadened your definition and concept about the ascending pathways and the descending pathways. So these are the anatomical possibilities. How can you have different types of ascending tracts in the spinal cord? And how can you have descending? Not all ascending and descending tracts are important to be remembered. Few short intersegmental tracts are there. They are meant for only connections, for carrying few functions, for coordinations, for reflexes. That's okay. We will talk about the major segments or the major tracts of the spinal cord. Major ascending tracts and major descending tracts. Okay? They are usually traveling from spinal cord to the brain and from brain to the spinal cord. Make it simple. But we wanted a perfect definition of ascending tract and the descending tract. We are clear about that? The meaning of the ascending tract and the meaning of the descending tract? Okay? All right. So, are we all together? Not yet? I'm waiting. If you are finished with the work, join us. Okay, so tract is clear. The meaning of tract, definition of tracts, types of tracts, we are clear about that, okay? Column. It's all about anatomy, which you have done already in histology, I believe. Okay? I'm sure you have touched many of these things in histology also. We're just making things clear so that we begin and proceed quickly. Yeah. Column. Yes? Vertebral column. Well, now, column is a general term in English, but we are referring to the central nervous system. We are doing something in the central nervous system. So if you think vertebral column is out of the central nervous system, then we'll not talk about it. Okay? If I'm saying column, I mean to say within the central nervous system, what do you mean by the column? Okay? Yeah. Now, what could be a column in the central nervous system? Yeah, I'm sure you have done it. Okay, as you're saying, spinal cord or brain? Spinal cord, khalas, first thing. Okay, in the spinal cord, now try to fit this definition of column. Where do you find column in the spinal cord? In the white matter, first of all. So column has to do with the white matter, first of all. Now you distribute the white matter of the spinal cord. That's very easy. So what are the parts of the white matter? Dorsal, ventral, lateral. These are columns, yes or no? Yes. Khalas. So this is it. Okay. So you are using these words: ventral column of the spinal cord, lateral column of the spinal cord, and the dorsal column of the spinal cord. Okay. Now, the dorsal column of the spinal cord is separate, but the ventral and lateral white matter of the spinal cord is mixing with each other, isn't it? It's kind of confluent, continuous from the side. If it is continuous from the side, then why not make it one column and consider it as one? You will call it ventrolateral column. Thank you very much. That is ventrolateral. Okay. So now, have a decision. Make two columns in the spinal cord, structurally mainly and functionally, basically. Dorsal and ventrolateral. You also call it anterolateral column or ventrolateral, same thing. Okay. So we will compare their functions. Whenever we talk about columns, we talk about ventrolateral column, what is it carrying, and the dorsal column, what are the functions of the dorsal column, and in this way we match. Clear? Fasciculus. Yeah. Fasciculus, please quickly. Fasciculus. What is a fascicle, by the way? Bundle. Fasciculus. Bundle, small or large? Small. Khalas, that's it. Okay. It's a small bundle. Okay. Or it's a part of a larger area. Fasciculus is present in a column. Okay. Within the column there is a bundle which is present. You call it fasciculus. We will use this term in the white matter, in the tracts, inshallah, you will see. So keep this term in mind. Fasciculus is a small bundle of fibers which is traveling in the spinal cord, okay, or even in the brain. Okay, fasciculus can be present in the brain. It's kind of a bundle. All right. Funiculus, yeah. It's a new term for you, I believe. Funiculus. Funiculus is another name of the column. Very simple. So, how many funiculi do we have in the spinal cord? Two mainly. We just talked about those two. One is ventrolateral funiculus and dorsal funiculus. So, don't get confused. Column or funiculus, same thing. Okay? You know this. Nucleus. When we talk of nucleus, what area of the spinal cord or the brain comes in mind? Generally. It's okay. Yes, you want to say gray matter. When I say column, white matter. When I say nucleus, what comes in mind? Gray matter. Okay, something, a condensation, an aggregation, a collection of the gray matter. The cells are aggregated to form a condensed area, and that area is mawjood in toll of the spinal cord, in the longitudinal way in the spinal cord. Well, that is a nucleus. Nucleus is not only a specific area mawjood in only one segment of the spinal cord, it is extending longitudinally to many segments of the spinal cord. You know that. Okay, there are different types of nuclei which we describe in the gray matter of the spinal cord. All right? Okay, so the term nucleus is used for the gray matter, Okay, nucleus in the spinal cord, yes or no? Yes. Nuclei in the brain also, yes or no? Definitely, we have seen many cranial nerve nuclei. We have seen basal nuclei or the basal ganglia. Okay, well, the basal ganglia is a kind of misnomer. It's an old term, qadim term. Now we call them basal nuclei in the brain, because gray matter inside the CNS should be nucleus. Gray matter outside the CNS, somewhere in the periphery, in the peripheral nerves, it's ganglion or the ganglia, right? Okay, so we are clearing things up. Commissure. Commissure. Commissure.
Connecting two parts of the brain.
Connecting two parts
Of the brain.
of the brain.
It's the same. Like it was
Yeah, why not? Why not? Commissure means a connection, okay? A communication by the fibers, as you're saying, okay? Traveling from one side to another side, or maybe traveling from this side to this side, okay? And it may have kind of a decussation, as you are saying also, okay? It depends really. The fibers are mixing with each other like this, crossing each other, or from one side connecting to the other side. It's connection, okay? Commissure in the spinal cord, present or not present? Present. Commissure in the brain, present or not present? Yes. This term is definitely used at both levels, spinal cord as well as in the brain. Keep it in mind, okay? You will see the gray commissure in the spinal cord. You will see the commissural fibers of the corpus callosum in the brain, which are joining the two cerebral hemispheres, the connecting fibers. These are called the commissural fibers, okay? Connecting the two main areas of the cerebrum. Lemniscus, yeps. Shabab, lemniscus. 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 Anyone familiar with the term? Heard of it? No? Lemniscus? No? Lemniscus is again a bundle of nerve fibers. It's a bundle of, now I'm adding the word, please listen. It's a bundle of crossed fibers in the central nervous system, usually in the brain. It is traveling in the brain after having crossed in the spinal cord or after having crossed in the brain. Now the crossed fibers, they form a bundle. The bundle of the crossed fibers, which is usually traveling in the brain, this is called the lemniscus. Okay? Lemniscus is used in the sensory system, usually carrying sensations of different types. Okay? The examples are spinal lemniscus, which is traveling in the brain after crossing the spinal cord. Could be a medial lemniscus, which is also موجود in the brain, going up. Lateral lemniscus, and there is a trigeminal lemniscus. These terms you will use again and again. Okay? It means you are talking about the journey of the sensory impulses. Lemnisci are the crossed fibers bundle, definite bundles which are traveling. They are distinct, they have been given special names, and we use them. And they definitely have some functions. Okay? They carry some sort of sensations or a group of sensations. Okay. So lemniscus and lemnisci. So don't get confused when this term comes. Lemniscus is mainly made up of the crossed fibers. Crossed fiber bundle. Okay? After crossing over. This crossing can happen in the spinal cord, or this crossing can happen higher up in the brain, somewhere in the brain. Are we clear about all these terms? Okay, let us move. Quickly, you have done something in histology. I just want to know, what have you done in histology about the tracts? Have you done the names of the tracts in histology? Bundles? You have done? Okay, all right. In the white matter, so there are ascending and descending tracts present in the white matter. And they are mixed. They are present in the columns of the spinal cord. What do you think? Spinal cord. Can you divide spinal cord into two equal halves? Is it possible? Okay. If you are dividing the spinal cord into two equal halves, do you think whatever is present on the right side of the spinal cord should also be present on the left side of the spinal cord? Or do you think that there are few things which are present on the right side and there are few things which are present on the left side? The two halves should be mirror images of each other, just like each other, yes or no? Symmetry. So bilaterally symmetrical, you are saying. Bilaterally, I'm using the word bilateral. You understand the meaning of the word bilateral? Symmetrical means having symmetry. Whatever is here, it's mawjood here. Whatever is here, it's mawjood here. Whatever is here, it's also mawjood on this side. So you can compare really the two sides. Oh, exactly the same. Right? It is? Okay. It means the sensory and motor tracts which are present on the right side, the same arrangement of the tracts should also be present on the left side. Yes or no? Not sure? Still not sure about that? Yes or no? What do you think? Look at the picture. Okay? Don't go on the color, go on the shadows also. Do you think if you compare the shadows and the colors, everything is present on the right and left side equally, yes or no? Yes. Consider the shadows only. We have highlighted few colors, one color on the one side and other color on the other side. That's okay for the sake of discussion. But do you think and do you see really that all the structures which are present on one side are also there on the other side? Yes. It is, okay? Spinal cord, you are splitting. One half of the spinal cord, left side, it is controlling the same side of the body. It is receiving the sensations from same side and it is supplying the motor impulses to the same side. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. So if spinal cord has an ipsilateral control. Are you familiar with the word ipsilateral? Ipsi. Ipsi means same sided. What is the meaning of the word contralateral? Opposite side. Okay? Yes. So spinal cord has the ipsilateral relationship with the body. Yes or no? Yes. It receives the sensory impulses of the same side and it sends off the motor impulses to the same side. Yes. It's ipsilateral. For spinal cord the word is ipsilateral. Okay? For the brain, okay, mainly it is contralateral. It could be ipsi also to some extent, but mainly it is contralateral. Okay, that is for sure. This side of our cerebral hemisphere is mainly controlling the opposite side of the body. So the control coming is contralateral, crosswise control coming. Okay, but spinal cord control on the body is going on the same side or ipsilaterally. Okay, all right. The blue color tracts which are shown here are sensory tracts. Are these sensory? The blue color tracts are sensory and the red color are motor. Am I right or wrong? Why I am so sure about that? Why do you think I am right? Yes, thank you very much. Okay, that's very logical. Look at, even if you don't know, you just read the name of the tract and you say, okay, I am getting the meaning. Spinothalamic tract, spinocerebellar tract. What is the meaning of spinothalamic? Means starting from and going to spinocerebellar, starting from. That's it, simple. Okay, so very meaningful names. Most of the names are clear, but sometimes the names are not clear. You have to be cautious. Go to the dorsal column. Go to the dorsal column or the posterior column. Do you see some bundles, big bundles which are there? There are two big bundles shown over there. Can you see? What are the names of these bundles? Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. Okay? Did you do these names in histology? Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. What do you see? Are these bundles completely filling? Taqriban the dorsal column is completely filled by these bundles. If you consider these two bundles, and that's it, dorsal column is khalas, finished. Completely occupied by these two bundles. Do you think so? From the diagram? Yes, okay. Now, are these bundles present bilaterally? Yes. Both sides? Okay, if you see the shadow is موجود on the other side also, isn't it? Okay, same. All right, but is the name telling you, not the color, just the name telling you that they are sensory or motor? No. Okay, the color is giving you the indication because they are grouped as blue color. Blue yani sensory. Okay, so you will guess they are sensory tracts. Okay, but if you don't know about them, then you cannot really say. Okay, fasciculus is a bundle basically. How do you know it's a sensory bundle or a motor bundle? All right. Okay, now just starting from the dorsal column, there are two main sensory tracts in the dorsal column, very distinct bundles. One bundle is placed medially, other is placed laterally. Which one is medial, my dear? And the side one is? Yes, okay. The lateral is cuneatus. Okay. Fasciculus is okay. Gracilis and cuneatus, why do we name these tracts as gracilis and cuneatus? Any idea? Why using word gracilis and cuneatus? Fasciculus, we know the meaning. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone? Try. Yes? Fasciculus, gracilis. Why gracilis? Fasciculus, cuneatus. Why cuneatus? You should be clear about everything, okay?
Maybe area in the brain.
Maybe area in the brain. Definitely it's the area in the brain. Very nice thinking, okay? Its destination, it is going to nucleus gracilis موجود in the medulla. Thank you. And nucleus cuneatus which is موجود in the medulla. Okay? So if the tract or a bundle or a fasciculus is going to nucleus gracilis, you will call it fasciculus gracilis. If it is going to nucleus cuneatus, you will call it nucleus cuneatus and fasciculus cuneatus. Okay, so fasciculus gracilis is going to nucleus gracilis. Fasciculus cuneatus is going to nucleus cuneatus. This also tells you about the position of these nuclei in the brain. Which should be logically medial? Gracilis. And which should be lateral in the brain? Should be. Okay, we'll see and we'll confirm. Okay, all right. These are the two main bundles. Coming here into the ventrolateral, because dorsal column is khalas, finished. It is completely filled by these two bundles. So we don't want to discuss anything else. There are small bundles, short interconnecting fibers موجود. Okay, tracts are present, which are intersegmental tracts. We don't really discuss them. We are concerned with the major systems. So major in the dorsal column system, two tracts are present, two very special bundles are present. These are fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. I am waiting for you also to be with me. Yes. Writing? Are you sure? That's okay. If you are writing, then make use of your mobiles. There is no problem. Okay. But don't get distracted, please. All right? We just want to be together. It's very important for us. All right. Okay. Coming to the ventrolateral system or the column, there are a number of tracts you can see here in the blue color. Okay. Always begin with the major system. There should be some discipline in mind. How do you start with? Okay. The first thing which comes in mind is that you will begin with the most important tracts, which carry most important functions. So you will take the spinothalamic system. Okay, you will begin your discussion with spinothalamic system. There are two spinothalamic tracts present in the ventrolateral column. Okay, one is called the ventral spinothalamic tract or anterior spinothalamic tract, ventral, and the other one is called the lateral because of the positions. One is anterior, one is on the side. This one is ventral, this one is lateral. Ventral is separate, lateral is separate. They are not mixed with each other, they are separate bundles, but they are both present in the ventrolateral column. Okay, so when we say spinothalamic tracts, please, two very, very important tracts, extremely important, and always begin with these two. Okay, then you come to the spinocerebellar system. Okay, what do you see in the spinocerebellar? Anterior and posterior too. Again, their positions, one is anterior and one is موجود behind. So you will call it anterior and posterior. Two separate tracts. Both are going to cerebellum. All right? Both are present in spinal cord, starting from the spinal cord, ending in the cerebellum. And this is spinocerebellar tract system. So two spinothalamic tracts, two spinocerebellar tracts. Okay? We are still in the ventral